This is a playthrough / tutorial for the game Vault. What you're going to need to play the game is you're going to need to print out one of the game sheets. You're also going to need some dice. In this case, I have put a protector sheet on it so that I can use this dry erase marker. But if you are not doing that, then you're going to need a pen or a pencil. Vault is a roll and write style of game that is going to take place over 12 rounds. Each of those rounds is labeled with a letter, so A, B, C, and then all the way around here to the end at L. What you're going to be doing is rolling these dice, and you're going to be using combinations of those dice to mark off numbers. So you could use one die to, say, mark off a 6, or you could combine two dice to maybe mark off this 5 right here, just as some examples. Every round, at the end, once you've used all the dice, you are going to check the current round, and if you have marked off all the numbers in that round, then you are going to get to circle the gemstone. However, in this particular instance, I do not have all those numbers marked off, so I would lose that number and I lose the gemstones that are associated with that row for the rest of the game. What you're going to do is play out all 12 rounds, and then here at the end, you are going to calculate up your score and check to see how you've done based on how many gemstones you managed to get. Over the course of the game, you also have access to a few re-rolls, which I'll show you how to use as we play the game. And then you also have access to these things over here that are called skimmers. These are going to allow you to take dice and you're going to be able to sort of save them, as it were. So this 2 would let me add 2 on this skimmer, and then I would be able to then use that number in a later round by activating my skimmer. I'm going to go ahead and erase all of these numbers, and then we are going to get into the gameplay. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start out by rolling all of these dice, and then we're going to place them up here in the unused spot. Now let's see here. Let's see if I can go ahead, because I think, oh, I'm so close. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and not do that. So what I will do instead is I'm going to use these 2 3s, and I'm going to mark off the ×2. I'll go ahead and double mark it off. I'm going to go ahead and also use the 3. I'll use this 4 as well. And then I've got the 1 odd, which I don't have any 1s on the board, so I'm going to go ahead and mark off an odd. Okay. Now it is the end of A, so I'm going to go ahead and check this column. I have not completed it, so I'm going to go ahead and X that out. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and re-roll all my dice. All right. So first I'm going to do this so that I can finish off that row. Then I'm going to start looking at this row, since that one's going to be the next one that I need to potentially accomplish. So let's see here if I can get... I could, if I wanted to, I could combine this to create a 10, and then 13, and then I could subtract the 1, which would get me 12. But that's a lot of dice to use for the 12, so I don't think I'm going to do that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark off the 6, and then I'll mark off the 4, and then I've got the 3 and the 1. So I'm going to go ahead and mark off this 3 by using that die, and then I've got this 1 right here, which I'm going to go ahead and start filling up my skimmer, which again I'll get to when I use it as to why that's kind of important. Before I roll the dice, I'm going to go ahead and circle that since I got it, and I'm going to re-roll all these dice. Okay, so let's see here. I was able to get the 12 and also the 2, so I'll mark those off. And then I've got a 5, and I think that the 2 is harder to get because it's more exact than the even, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. End of the round, I'm going to go ahead and circle that gemstone. Time to move on to the next round. Okay. So let's see what I got here. I can use this 7, but that's only 1 gemstone, and then that just causes some problems for me later on. So I'm going to just double check here what I can do. I could get 14 to mark off that if I add all those dice together. Or I could start working on maybe some of these lower numbers down here. I don't have a 5, which would be nice. I do have this 6, or I could go ahead and mark off the 10. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and do that. Mark off this 10. And let's see here. This could be a 5. Could be a 4. Oh, you know what? I've got 2 of the same. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I do have the 3, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go ahead and fill that up. And then I'll use all these dice again. Ooh, nice, a nice high number. Let's see here, 14. So if I wanted to, and I think I am gonna, oh, I forgot to mark this off because I did not complete that. Now if I want, and I think I'm gonna do this, I get 14 there and the 5 there. So I'm use all those dice, and I'm gonna go ahead and mark that off because I completed the row. Okay, and then I will go ahead and re-roll all these dice. Okay, next round. I mean, I'd like that 12 if I could, but then I give up on the 6. So maybe I go ahead and start working for, for some of these right here. So let's see here, 10, or let's see here, that's 9, 15, or I go for that, which is, let's see here, I'll go for 15 right there. And now I've got the even. If I wanted, I'll move that there so you can see that a little better. Let's see here, 6. Or I could combine to make an even number. I don't think that's worth my time. Do I have a 5? No, I don't have a 5. Bummer. 6, no 1. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the 6, and that's 1, and then 5. I'm gonna go ahead and fill that in because I can use that pretty soon coming up here. This row I did not complete, so I'm gonna go ahead and X that off. Reroll all the dice. This is not a great roll. I do like the 4s, but I don't really like these others because I'm gonna need some higher numbers here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and mark off my reroll, and I'm gonna reroll these 3. I could reroll up to all 5 if I wanted to, but I don't want to in this case. Okay, so let's see here, 9. I could do 9, then 9 plus, that's 11. Oh, that's so close. But unfortunately, okay. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to complete that row. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip it. And I don't have a 6, but I do have 12. I'm not doing too well here. Okay, let's go ahead and mark off an even. And I got a 4, so I'll go ahead and mark that off, even though it's probably going to be a little waste of time. I got potential of 14 there. I've also got this 10 that I could use. Let's say I use the 10 with the 5, and then I'm going to mark that off. And then I do have this 9 here. I mean, I'm going to need it eventually for this row anyways, so even though I get, don't pass this, I think I am going to go ahead and use it. Okay, so end of the round. Unfortunately, I did not complete that, so I mark both of those off. And then I'm going to go ahead, re-roll these dice. Oh, great. A bunch of low numbers. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use a re-roll. And, okay, there we go. There's some higher numbers. Let's see here. So first and foremost, I'm going to do the 6. Then, let's see here, 9. Oh boy. I've got 8 or 10, 9. Not a huge amount to work with. Well, let's do the 9 like that. And now, I can actually split these to do different skimmers, so I'm actually going to fill in 4, and I'm going to fill in 5. Okay. And that's going to be that. So now I've completed the round, and I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and re-roll all these dice. Now I'm tempted to go ahead and use my re-roll, because I mean, I'm okay with that, I guess. So let me mark off the 7. And then, do I want to use a re-roll? I mean, that's a lot of points I'm going to be losing out on here. And I've already completed this row, so I just need those numbers. Shoot, okay. We'll see how it goes. This is probably not going to be great. Let's see here, 5. Shoot. I mean, I can mark off the 11, but I still failed the row, so I'll do that. Okay. All right, and then we're on to round J. So luckily, I've already completed it, so I don't have to worry about it too much. So I can just worry about these other rows. So I'm going to do the 10, and then I've got 9, basically. But I'm going to go ahead and move this to a 10, and then plus 4. So 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay. So there's that, and I have completed this, so I'm going to circle all those. And re-roll all these dice. Oh boy. Well, luckily I've completed that row too. So I guess I'm going to go ahead, mark off the 6. And, shoot, I don't know. Let's go ahead, I guess, and put both of those right there. Okay. And I circle all of those. Now, I'm kind of in trouble because I have to hope that at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can I get an 8? I can. So I mark that one off, which gets me that. But let's see here. 3 gets me 11, and then I'm kind of stuck. I can't do the 13 because I got rid of all my rerolls. So unfortunately, I have to mark off all those. Now, as you can see right here, this tells you how many points you get at the end of the game. So I'm going to get points for every gemstone, and I also get 1 point for every skimmer that I did not use. So I'm going to go ahead and count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 12. And 12 is right here, a pickpocket. Not a very good score, obviously. But that should hopefully give you a feeling for how the game is played. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully your scores are better than this one.